And the Hangout is live, which means if I press this button, you should be watching our 5-minute countdown. If you've just joined us, welcome along. The pictures that are featured on this countdown are not actually any new pictures, because I haven't pushed for any new pictures this week, which I really should do more of. But yes, if you want to get some pictures in, you can send them in to pics@anenglishmaninsandiego.com. Get them into us, and we'll have them on the new 5-minute countdown for next week. Because of the slight technical issue we had, completely we actually have the Q&A questions from last Sunday, which I'm just clearing out at the moment. And the moment that I've done that, and I'll tell you when in a second, you can jump in the Q&A and say hi. Where are you watching from? We'll also take this time, 4 minutes and counting, to send out a tweet and let everyone know where we are.
Mm-hmm.
So go to.
So you're saying I jumped the gun when I sent out the tweet 20 minutes ago about where we were?
Not at all. So you can let everyone know that we're live now. Yay.
Oh, live. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, and turn off my computer.
Is it pinging at you?
Yes, Michael is being very nice and reminding me of something.
Oh, I see. Talking to yourself and not talking to me. I'm not taking this personal at all.
He's reminding me. You're supposed to remind me to put my banner on, Leonard.
I would have done that. I'd have gone there eventually.
Yeah.
20 minutes in.
Yes, well, this is going to be a very brief one, it's got to be said. We try to keep the Hangouts around the hour mark, except the last week we went on to about an hour 25, because we were just really getting into the topic of pre-reg, which of course didn't happen this week. We will talk about that shortly. But I can imagine everyone had a lot of fun watching all the emails and updates come in and alerts and people thinking, it's happening. No, it's not. So let me share this out.
Pre-show chatter.
Annoyingly enough, we still haven't got any music. It's really kind of frustrating, because I'd really like some music at this point. But I'm still working on it. Who knows? We'll get that on. So that's I've now tweeted out a link. If you want to share that with everyone, let everyone know that the Hangout is now technically live, and you can jump in and let everyone know that we're here. We do have a number of viewers. Hello, everyone. Welcome along. Yeah, spread the link. Let everyone know that we're here. And once again, I hope you're enjoying the pictures that we.
Leonard, does that help?
Well, no, because I get done for copyright.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, if you are enjoying the pictures, do send them in to pics@anenglishmaninsandiego.com. We'd love to see some more pictures show up on the 5-minute countdown. And also your memories of conventions. I mean, if you've been to BlitzCon this weekend, let us know about that. If you've, I don't know, I mean.
Oh, I had a wonderful memory.
Oh.
I don't know who's got the echo going on.
Is it me?
I don't know. Is it me?
I'm not hearing an echo.
I am hearing it when I heard it when I spoke, but I don't hear it now. Regardless, I was thinking about my fondest memories of San Diego last year, and I was sitting in line, like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I spilled my coffee, and I was devastated, not because, and everybody else was worried, oh, my clothes are going to get wet and all that sort of stuff, and I'm panicked that I don't have my coffee. And Doctor Who 42, Kevin, who is on the Hangout for New York Con, immediately goes and gets me a second cup of coffee. And I'm like,
that's so nice.
It was so nice, without even saying a word, just like, boom, gone. And it appeared like within 5 minutes. And I was like, this is why I go to con, because of my con buddies.
Aren't people nice?
Yes.
I agree.
So that's
what we like. We like con buddies. Yeah.
I have to try that at work. We work for the same company. I'm going to spill my coffee one morning, and he's on the same floor as the cafeteria, so I'm going to just say, oh, I spilled my coffee. See if a cup of coffee comes.
Right, I'm going to do the intro and welcome everyone along. Welcome to Talking Comic-Con, a cup of tea with an Englishman in San Diego. By my feet, I have my cup of tea, and it's cold. That's nice.
Don't spill it.
I'm trying not to, but the thing is, yeah, we were talking about this before we came on air. We have this delightful habit of wanting to just do a hangout for maybe half an hour, maximum an hour. And, I mean, for example, last week we were talking a big topic, which was SDCC Pre-Reg, and ended up talking for about an hour and 20 minutes, and it had gone. I was parched by the end of it. So, big mug, and I'm sipping this time, so there we go. Welcome along. It is the 8th of November, 2015. We are talking, this is where Alyssa might jump in and help me out with times and dates. Here in the UK, it's Remembrance Sunday, so it's been a very subdued day. But this evening, as you may hear in the background, just for one or two bangs and flashes, it's also been the aftermath of the 5th of November, and everyone's kind of still doing bonfire sessions and fireworks. So you may hear some popping and banging in the background, and that's what that's all about. How far are we from San Diego Comic-Con?
255 days, 6 hours, and 56 minutes to preview night opening at 6. Unless they decide to open early, and then we can cut off a few minutes.
Well, I mean, I love preview night purely because it's not because I don't do the whole exclusives thing. I know that Michael does, but I don't do the whole exclusives thing. But I do the whole lining up thing and catching up with people, and sort of we were talking con buddies and really kind of getting into the vibe of the whole thing. So. No, I count preview night as day one as well. You're absolutely right. Mm-hmm. So let's very quickly welcome everyone who's watching. If you are wanting to take part in the Q&A, we've kind of let that slide over the last couple of weeks. Let's try and get that back into it. We want to hear from you. It's definitely a round table thing. So it's all about you and what you want to talk about. Jump in on the Q&A on the Google Plus event, and of course you can talk to us on Twitter using the hashtag #CupOTSDCC. Love to hear from you and about what you want to talk about this week. I can imagine there is one big subject that you want to talk about. We'll get to that in a second. We have ourselves two guests, which are my regular partner in crime, Alyssa from the Friends of CC Forum. Hello, Alyssa. How are you?
I'm well. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday was a little anxious, and next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday will be a little anxious.
Yes, I mean, we're kind of hoping that, fingers crossed, it's going to... Right, actually, I'm going to talk quickly about this. I'm actually...
intro Mike first.
Okay, we'll talk Mike. Okay, we'll do it all. Yeah, we'll welcome Mike. So, hello there, Michael Leventhal from the Friends of CC Forum. How are you, sir?
Good morning, good afternoon. I'm well, it's a nice Sunday morning, and just waiting, like everyone else, to see any news, although... I wasn't expecting it this weekend, so I wasn't as anxious as other people. So it was a little less crazy for me.
So, well, what have you been doing since we spoke to you last? Because I mean, the last time we spoke to you, it was kind of like in the aftermath of New York Comic Con, and around that kind of time. What have you been doing since?
Well, work's been a little bit odd. I had a few work conference, and then my normal day-to-day life takes me. Was a little crazy. Haven't really done much. Most of my con season is over. I did one small con last 2 weekends ago, which is a show in Allentown, Pennsylvania. They're moving actually to Reading next year. It's called a LuxCon. It's really not even a con. It's more of an art gallery, but it's some of the best art you will ever see, like real high fantasy art, and the people who run it are really nice, and I could maybe a bit later I'll go a little bit more into some of the details of it, but that was my last con that I did, and I'm pretty much just now waiting for San Diego.
Well, that's a long wait to go.
Or waiting for San Diego tickets.
Ah, yes. Let's get into that then. So this week we could have had the pre-registration badge sale. Last week we did the whole thing about what you can expect from that badge sale. If you are brand new to the whole experience, if you went to 2015, wanting to go to 2016 and don't know how the whole pre-reg badge sale thing works, if you've never done it before, do check out last week's Hangout, because we talked about it in depth and really went through the whole process. It was a fun episode, but it kind of like got everyone's blood up for this week. What I was about to say was I'm kind of hoping that it doesn't happen this week. I'm kind of hoping it's going to happen the following weekend. I'm hoping it's going to be for the 21st, purely because next weekend for me is Thought Bubble in Leeds, which is probably the biggest comics-based convention that happens here in the UK, and also it's really close to me as well, so it's really handy that it's a nice close con here in the UK. But it does mean that I'm wanting to help with my badge teams for the badge sale, and if I'm doing Thought Bubble, I'm going to be kind of slightly distracted, but who knows. We're kind of thinking that it's either going to be this weekend or next weekend, because the weekend after, as Alyssa will now say, why is it not going to be in 3 weeks' time?
It's not going to be on the 21st. I hate to say that, but here's my rationale for why I think it's not going to be on the 21st. In addition to the fact that it's the weekend before a major holiday, 4 or 5 day weekend, so most people will take Monday and Tuesday off, call it a whole week off, and they'll go visit relatives and family. It's a big family thing here in the States, number one. And number two, CCI isn't going to want to deal with all of these kinds of problems Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which is when typically they would be having to process through screenshots and badges, people who had difficulties and
hiccups and
yeah, all the little hiccups. And I don't think CCI is going to want to do that right before Thanksgiving. So that's why I don't think it's going to be the 21st. I don't know. So in my opinion, it's either going to be next weekend, the 14th, or it's going to be the 5th. Skipping, of course, the day after Black Friday. And yes, we will get into some Black Friday shopping. Later on.
My bet is actually next weekend too. That's the weekend. Yeah. I'm thinking it's going to be this coming Saturday. I'm really curious now, because I've been bothering him all over the web, is Mark Searby, who said it was going to definitely be this yesterday. So I've been hounding him and asking him, his elaborate theory.
That had to do with the sports team.
Yeah, we got an answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, over the last couple of years, when the pre-registration has gone ahead, it's when his favourite football team does really, really well. They had done really, really well that weekend, so he thought, right, so it's going to be this weekend then. So it's all about sports teams. Go sports teams!
Go sports.
It was all about that. It was all about the football. It was a good guess, Mark, but not right. So there we go. Let's have a quick rundown of Q&A. Let's see, because we've got people who are watching from around the globe at the moment. We've got ourselves Carol Hansen from San Jose. Hello, Carol. Michael P. from Colorado Springs. We've got ourselves Corgi Commander saying hello to all of us. Hello, guys. And also Into the Blue Mister, which is hello from rainy Wales. It is particularly grim here in the UK at the moment, which is I'm desperately hoping that the weather picks up for next week, because the thing about Thought Bubble is it's also in 3 locations, which is separated by a courtyard, which means we will just get absolutely soaked if it's going to be raining. So that's going to be fun. So let's talk about pre-registration very quickly then. What's been the chatter on the forum so far about pre-registration, and what we can expect, really? Because the one thing that we didn't really go into is the warning signs in terms of whether it's going to be next week. Because people have turned around and said we haven't heard anything about the actual prices yet.
Right. And that's it. And I understand, and Mike and I had a conversation, which I'm sure will get brought up again. And well, if as Mike was saying, if it's an extra $10, of course we're going to buy. It doesn't matter the price. That's true, but they still have got to do the calculations, and they've got to let people know how much it's going to cost. So we need the prices. I think we need a little bit of tech information, browser checks. Historically, they've done that. I don't know if they feel confident enough in the process to not do that again. And then we need our codes. So, and to my remembrance, they've said 48 hours, so that we're going to, as I said last week, we should, if we don't hear anything about tech and prices by Wednesday, late Wednesday, I don't think we're going to have a badge sale on the 14th, but I'm betting that we will. I think the cutoff date is still Thursday morning, with give or take with a time change.
Okay.
Well, do we think that? I mean, I thought I saw some chatter on the forums and online that we actually already have the codes.
We do have the codes already.
We do have.
They are actually on our member IDs.
Yeah. I meant to say the link.
Oh.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
But do we think that maybe CCI is trying to maybe, I don't know, in an effort to catch people a little unawares, like kind of like, oh well, you have to register your badge now. So do we think that maybe they would only give us like that 72-hour notice, and then that gives people who may not be eligible for they have more tickets than for the regular reg? Or we don't think that of CCI?
I'm thinking that they're going to stick to the 48 hours. 48 to 72 hours. That's my thinking. So Wednesday, Thursday at the latest. I don't think they'll go shorter.
I think it's a good sign that we've actually got our registration codes on our member ID. I think that says that and not only that, but it's also interesting as well, because I noticed this on Twitter, that CCI are actually now talking to people and talking individually to people. It's not just kind of like tweets, which means the beast is awakening. And
nice.
The monster is slowly blinking its eyes open. I mean, Charlotte Allen from Somerset. Hello, Charlotte. Saying you can already get your registration codes on the member ID homepage. Is this a sign? I think it is. I think it's going to happen. I think Alyssa is right. It is going to happen sooner rather than later. But either way, and it isn't going to hit that Thanksgiving weekend. And we have actually a comment from Carl Clement. How is November 11th, Veterans Day, going to affect the sale? I don't think
it is a holiday in the States. My son has it off from school, which came as a surprise to me. Because I'm that kind of a parent who shows up to school on days off. But I think it's just like a bank holiday. It's not, all of the stores are still open. A lot of it's not a major holiday like Thanksgiving and Christmas are.
Yeah, so, I have work, so I think most non-federal non-government type places are probably still open. So your CCI people are probably still in the office, and I don't know if that would really affect them.
The only other thing that I read as well that could possibly affect it and not happen next weekend is apparently next weekend is the Disney Half Marathon, which takes place at Disney World, and apparently a whole bunch of CCI staff and volunteers take part in this thing. So people have been kind of like looking at CCI's social calendar to see if it's going to affect pre-reg.
Can I introduce my crystal ball? Yes, exactly.
As long as the waiting room online person, who writes up his little messages is still there, then they're all good to go for next weekend.
Yes. The person who actually does the yellow bar doesn't do any running. He's very much like comic book guy. He's a little bit large. He doesn't do the half marathons. He can sit at home. He can do the typing. He's fine. Yeah. Okay. Maybe not. This is where I get emails from the people who administer the badge sale saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, what, are you calling me?" Okay, I'll back up on that one. It was just a joke. We have had a comment from Corgi Commander saying it's a great suggestion as well. Do go and log in on your member ID. Go to comic-con.org and click on the member ID button. Copy down your member ID code just in case the member ID site goes down before pre-reg sale. It's a good comment to make. What's that, Alyssa?
It kind of, the half marathon sparked a thought of my annual encouragement of people to get out and get moving and get in shape for next year, because I always say this and never do, and maybe this year I'll actually be different and get in shape for next con season.
Well, you've done well with yourself this week.
That's what I was about to say.
But that's purely through dieting. Yes, I have actually lost from my maximum weight. I have lost 40 pounds to date, and I'm hoping for another 30. So, yes. But that's just pure through diet. I haven't been exercising, so I still walk to the mailbox and get winded.
40. That's still 40 less pounds to lug around yourself at Comic-Con. So
absolutely, absolutely.
I keep threatening to cut out sugar, but I like sugar in my tea.
You don't have to cut out anything if you do everything in moderation and eat the right proportions.
Ah, right. So starters, puddings, and 2 courses. Don't do that.
No, don't do that.
Fair enough.
No, starters you got to be careful of.
You know what? It's nice to know this now. So that's good. Thank you.
Talk to your wife. She lost a lot of weight. She knows how to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Moving on.
Okay. Let's see what else we can talk about. We are going to do a bit of a thought bubble thing very shortly indeed. But what I'm going to do, and I wanted to leave this kind of like for the final stretch of the Hangout, because I want it to kind of blitz out. What we're going to do, in fact, is there anything that you want to talk about, Alyssa? Because I've just realised it's in the other room.
We can segue into shopping.
No, you talk about shopping. I don't do shopping. So I'll let you talk about shopping for a little while. Okay. I'm going to go and fetch a prize that we're going to give away on this Hangout. I knew I'd forgotten something. So, yes, if you could talk about shopping for a little while. Some bits and pieces you pick up.
Bits and pieces. I just wanted to say that I know that a lot of people are getting ready for Black Friday, but there's also a bunch of other sites that have pre-sales going on. Black Friday Ads does a hot bargains area, which just keyed me into an HBO 20% off coupon, and I was able to pick up a couple of smaller items through there. Tech Bargains is another spot that I've been able to dial into a bunch of really good components for my new computer, and Slick Deals a lot of people have been really liking too. I'm looking forward to comic sites. If anybody knows of a good amalgam of listing of the comic sites, Midtown Comic, TD, TFA, if they know of those kinds of sales that are happening, that would be wonderful to know, and I'd love to know that, and I'm sure people would too. There's a link on the forum. I've got a thread for it that it's for one-day specials and Black Friday deals. So I'm going to post that in a moment. And Leonard is going to now introduce a giveaway.
We haven't done one of these for a while, which is why I completely forgot that we were. I've been messaging about this all week, and for some reason I got into it and I completely forgot about it. So here we go. Next week is Thought Bubble, as I've mentioned, at in the Royal Armouries in Leeds, in Yorkshire. And last year was around the time of the release of issue 2 of Witches, which is the Scott Snyder, Jock, and Matt Hollingworth book, which is just scary as hell and a brilliant read. And it was just before it really just took off. Certainly, I mean, we've got volume 1 out now. If you've not read it, do check it out. It's a frightening read, but it's a fantastic. Gets under the skin. It's all about. It certainly makes Witches a more scary prospect in 2015. For Thought Bubble 2014, they produced a variant cover with artwork by the brilliant artist Jeff Lemire, and it looks like that. It kind of gives you a bit of a taste of what the actual interior is like, because it is particularly freaky, but it's a gorgeous, gorgeous cover. Okay? As you may notice, someone has rather recklessly defaced it with some signatures. And those are the signatures of Mr. Let me see if I can get this right. Scott Snyder, Jeff Lemire, and Jock, who's the interior artist. We are giving this away, and we're giving this away now, between now and the end of the Hangout. Okay? What I want you to do is head to Twitter, and I need you to use the hashtag #PledgeMe, because the whole idea is that one of the characters inside is, the characters in the book are basically indoctrinated into being witches, and you are pledged for life. So what I want you to do is, using the hashtag #PledgeMe, I want you to tweet why you want this particular comic. Okay? Using the hashtag #PledgeMe, PledgeMe, why would you want this comic sending to you? It's international. We'll mail it out to anywhere in the world. But between now and the end of the Hangout, I need to know, why would you want this comic sending to you? Okay? It's pristine condition. It's nicely signed. And, like I say, it's got Scott Snyder, it's got Jock, and it's got Matt Hollingworth, who's the interior colorist. Sorry, get that right. 3 signatures. Sorry. No, sorry. I'm getting a bit confused. Get me right. Scott Snyder, Jock, and Jeff Lemire. Okay. However, Matt Hollingsworth is actually going to be at Thought Bubble this weekend. So if you'd like me, I will also try and get him to sign it as well.
That's cool.
That'd be rather cool. So there you go. What I need now is for you to send the hashtag #PledgeMe. Okay? And tell me why you think you deserve this rather fine comic. Okay? I can tell you now, on eBay it is selling rather well. It's 1 in 500, so it's pretty limited edition. So there we go. Which is why, when I did the last time I did one of these Hangouts with a signed book, which was the souvenir guide from 2014, Jim Lee signed it. I was manhandling it and sort of, oh, look at that. And everyone just shouted at me.
Don't do it.
It's
Don't do it.
It's boarded. It's going nowhere. So there you go. So
but you can't get that. You can't get that signature, Yellow Label signature series signed, since there are no witnesses.
No.
But you can get it slabbed. Yes. It will just come back qualified.
It's still a bloody nice book.
It's gorgeous.
I could tell you right now that those two, at least the Snyder signature and the Jock signature, are legit, because I've seen both of their signatures. And before I segue a little bit, I will say, you're about to laugh at me, but I've already bought I bought a Witches Mondo poster, and at New York Comic Con I actually picked up the hardcover version of Witches.
Look at that book.
And
nice.
But you're gonna laugh. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, so I'm buying all this Witches stuff. Haven't had a chance to actually look at the interior. But if you want to, Leonard, hold up your thing. So, and focus on the Snyder signature.
Okay, 1 second.
And I will show you my Snyder signature, which you can see pretty much is exactly the same. So we know it's a real signature, everyone.
There we go. Yes, I didn't just take a black felt tip pen and just.
I actually have a Jock signature too, so I could show that a bit later too.
Yes, but Jock's signature is just a. Bleh.
Yep. Yeah. No, but he does it the same every single time. That's like, yeah, that's his signature though. You could recognize it. That's it.
Bleh.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm still waiting for the comics creator to actually do a nice, ornate signature.
McFarlane does.
Find one.
Yeah,
McFarlane. Oh, he's got a. Yeah.
Who's that? Sorry?
McFarlane has got one. That's If you ever get a chance to see his signature, it's pretty unique.
Hold on.
Uh-oh. We're going to compare signatures now.
Well, that's the other thing that I've been doing this weekend as well. I've been recommended an app by NerdFoo. Hello, guys, if you're watching. Which is I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Gemr? So it's Gemr, and it's basically an app which allows you to kind of create it's a social network around collections, which is it's interesting, I suppose. In that I decided that I was going to create a network. Oh, sorry, if I can just hold that up, if this screen will.
No.
It's not going to, is it? Basically around these signatures and all the books I've had signed.
Here's a good Todd McFarlane.
Footnote. Hang on. Let me just. Yeah, you see, that's what I'm talking about. It's a nice, clear, legible. Excellent.
Legible. That's the key. Legible.
Although the Scott Campbell has a good signature. I like that one.
This is, I'm going to show, if we're talking signatures, this is a poster that I got done at Boston Comic-Con in 2012.
Nice.
And you can see all the SIGs on it. And what I had to do was, on the back of it, I had to keep track of because who can tell what these signatures are? You can't read this. I mean, yes, I can read Tim Sale, and I got caught. I got a few of them. Anyway, so that's why you have to keep track of them.
Fair enough. We've just had a comment from Into the Blue. I'm going to say Into the Blue Mister, because it's Into the Blue MR. Can we persuade Scott Snyder to stay in the UK after Thought Bubble? I'm stunned we've got him back, considering that last year I think it was fogged over here in the UK, which meant the plane had to divert from. Instead of coming into London, it went into Manchester, which meant he had to drive. He got picked up the M62. He was all over the place, and he was absolutely shattered. And you could tell on the Saturday, he was not a happy bunny. And I'm stunned that we've got him back at all. But no, he's coming back. So he's going to be at Thought Bubble. If I can.
Who else is coming?
Yeah, well, let me go into that, because it is quite a roster of special guests. Now, we've got Kate Beaton, who's I'm a massive fan of, especially on Twitter. She's just such a fantastic tweeter, but her online site is also very, very cool. But I don't know if she's been in the country ever since Lakes, which she was at a couple of weeks back. So I don't know if she's had a nice long summer here in the UK, or the remainder of the summer before it all went horribly wrong. Other names that are certainly to stand out: Marguerite Bennett is coming to Thought Bubble, as is Rick Remender, Kate Leff, who I'm a big fan of as well. When it comes to the featured guests, you do have people like, for example, Scott Snyder. Charles Schul is coming. Let's see who else. Sean Phillips is always a fun person to watch. You do have the double act, which is Jamie McKelvey and Mine's completely blank there for a second. Bear with me.
I was
Just
gonna...
who else we've got on the list. So
Is Snyder's partner Kapulu there? I thought I saw some.
Kieran Gillen, of course, but no, I'm just looking through the other lists as well because while there are a number of, it's a great UK roster of talent, there are a number of the Americans coming over. Marguerite Van Cook is coming over. Matteo Scalera, I can never remember how to pronounce his surname correct. So he's coming over. Who else have we got? Mark Lamming is coming over as well, and Jason Latour, who's going to get slightly shocked by just how many books of his I've got to sign.
Oh no, he gets a lot of people. At he was also at New York Special Edition, and he had one of the longest lines.
Yeah.
For
who else have we got?
what was it? Not Spider Gwen. He did the it was Spider Gwen.
Spider Gwen.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right.
Silk and Spider Gwen. They came out at the same time, and they start with the same letter, and so I get confused.
No, I've got a number of Spider Gwens to get signed up as well. And I think the last one that kind of jumps out as me as well, Al Ewing is coming over.
If you have any Black Sciences for Rick remembered, Rick, I can never pronounce his correctly his last name, but that would be a nice one to. I don't know. I like the Black Science series.
I'm a fan as well. If you want to check that book out, it's being published on Image. Great book.
Is Mondo's going to be there? Are they going to do a poster for it?
Now, I have been trying to get in contact with Mondo all week, and tried over the course of this weekend to convince someone to come on and talk to us. Mondo are very protective of the brand in that they don't really talk a great deal to people when it comes to podcasts. They have their own show. Of course, which I know that Nerd Foo went to and had a great deal of fun there. But when it comes to other podcasts, they do kind of keep themselves to themselves. I would seriously like to try and get to talk to them at Thought Bubble. We've no idea if they're doing a special poster, but I do know they're bringing a number of the artists over to kind of show off what Mondo do. Mondo.
They did a great poster last year, that Back to the Future one that you gave away on the Hangout. I was very sad that I could not join in.
I was very sad that I gave it away. No, Mondo, it's interesting because I went to the Art of Jock panel at Lakes, at the Lakes International Comic Art Festival a couple of weeks back. Jock talking about his experiences and talking about his influences, and I asked him about his relationship with Mondo, and he did turn around and say that he loved the way that it's now more a case of when he feels he wants to do a project, instead of the actual brief which Mondo do, which is they put on screenings at their local cinema, and they create the posters for those screenings. Now Jock can actually turn around and say, I want to do a poster based on this property. Would you put it out? And they're more than happy to do so. But what I was really surprised at is that he actually started his answer saying, does anyone in the audience know who Mondo is? And nobody knew who they were here in the UK. But that's totally contrary to Thought Bubble, where they set up a stand at the back of the TP last year, and the line was around the entire tent. They have got fans here in the UK, so I was really surprised about how it works. I know that you're a big fan, Michael. What have you got close at hand, which showcase your Mondo collection?
Speaking of Jock, actually the Year One Batman, the red poster, that is a Jock that they did last year for the Batman 75th anniversary show, or Batman 75th anniversary. So he did a Year One variant. That's the red variant, which I actually just recently got framed and is really nice. I know Alyssa has the white version.
I'll be right back with that. I got to show it off. Okay.
I'm going to pull that up and bring it a little closer. So if there are people, hold on one second.
Sure, go for it. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what Mondo come up with. If anyone does know if they've heard if they're going to be producing a poster for 2015 Thought Bubble, let us know now. Let's see if we can find it and we can showcase it on the Hangout. One more time, just to remind you, we are giving away this Thought Bubble exclusive from 2014. If you want to win this, you use the hashtag #PledgeMe and tell me why you think you deserve this signed Witches cover. So that's Scott Snyder, Jeff Lemire, and Jock, and I am going to try my best to get Matt Hollingworth to sign it as well. So go on then, Michael, are you going to show us this poster?
Oh, I had it up, but you were chatting. All right, I'll bring it in.
I was giving you time to showcase this thing.
So here's a little. Tell me, I know it's a little bit close up, and I'll move a little bit further, but so you could see some of the details in it. If I could get the Batman and the cat in there.
It's got lots of lovely little details. I've seen the poster, and it's got lots of little details from each one, which I'm a big fan of.
Absolutely amazing.
Cool.
Then I could show you. I have this one from Mondo also. It's a Kevin Tong. Kevin Tong did a Wizard of Oz poster, which is right here. And I don't know.
Right.
If you could
Right, a little bit higher. Look at that.
Yeah.
You know, this is why Mondo is so popular. The quality of their prints are just absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
Really thick paper.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, you can press them out and flatten them out, and they just stay.
Yeah.
They're gorgeous.
So you've got the white one there.
I do, just to give a contrast in the two different ones. So you just kind of see the different. I'm trying to get the glare off of it. So you can see the difference between the what Mike has is the exclusive, the variant, and I've got the regular one, and it really is a choice of what you want. I've got a few bats up at the top, whereas Mike had a bunch of them, and it's much more concentrated on the guys than it is on the. I believe Mike's got more of the red one has more of the bats all over the poster. So that's it. To my mind, it's what I can bear to look at on the wall for hours and days at a time is how I choose a Mondo poster.
Well, to be fair, the way people not familiar with Mondo works is usually there's a poster and then there's the variant edition. So the way it works is the regular edition is usually a little bit larger numbers. So you might have a regular edition that has maybe 700 units, whereas the variant will be a little bit tougher to get. It's usually maybe half that or 250, something like a lot less. Most times, though, I will say the variant and the exclusive and the regular are the same poster but different colorings. This is one of the few unique ones where I've seen it actually be a different image in the poster. So a lot of times you're just looking at different colorings, whereas in this one you're looking at actually almost two different posters.
Exactly. I tend to like the regular one better than the variants for some strange reason, but the lower print run, I can see the allure of that as a collector. So that's the difficult, that's a difficult balancing thing that I've got to see. Have you guys noticed any difference? I know that they've kind of changed how Mondo does things, and this happened, I guess, last year when I forget the name of the gentleman who was doing all the tweeting. He left the company, and it seemed like the company did a change. And to my mind, and I don't know, and I'm not a huge Mondo person, so other people could speak to this better. But I'm wondering if other people have noticed that the posters don't seem as good as I remember them being before he left. Was that your impression, or is that just me being wacky?
I think there's a combination of a few things, which I'll get into.
Okay.
First, I think I don't think that you're that wacky. I think the issue is, first off, Mondo became a lot more popular, so they're trying to produce more posters, which means that they're taking a little bit more chances. They're putting out maybe posters that they may not have put out before when they were just trying to establish themselves. I also think it's a matter of that they're expanding a little bit, because on top of the posters, and I could show you a few, now Mondo has the Mondo Steelbook line. So now they do, if you collect steelbooks, here's a good example, is the Ex Machina that they do, which actually has jock art on it. You know, and it's absolutely, it comes with a slip cover, which comes off. I collect steelbooks, so I could tell the difference. Like when you feel it, it has a really nice feel on it. Yep. And then the inside, they work on the inside art. Everything about it is, you know, has the Mondo touch in terms of what they're, you know, how they want a product to be. And then that's one example. Here's another Jock one, which is Pan's Labyrinth, which actually I got signed by Jock at San Diego Comic-Con. So you can see his little scribble line, as we were talking about earlier. But, I mean, it's absolutely a gorgeous steelbook. So they're getting into, you know, other things to do.
I can kind of expand on that as well, because they're also getting into book publishing. And the first thing that they're doing, I believe it's next year, is actually going to be a Jock book. It's an Art of Jock book which they're doing. It's going to be the first thing that Mondo do as part of a print run. Although, very quickly, just to say as well, we do keep mentioning Jock. Jock will not be appearing at Thought Bubble this year. He wants to do so, but he had to leave Thought Bubble. Sorry, he had to leave Lakes a day early as well, because of a secret project. He's actually involved in the art direction for Star Wars Episode 9, and he can't say a word. He's really off the map for that one. Let me just go back to Michael. So you're showing some more bits and pieces there. What's that, Michael?
Those are all the different steelbooks. So it's different artists. Actually, outside of Jock, I'm a huge Tyler Stout fan, and I'll get into that a little bit later. And there's one of his best Mondos, which is they released it about around the time I started collecting Mondos, and I just missed it, is the Shaun of the Dead. I absolutely like some of Stout's stuff, and I've always wanted this Shaun of the Dead poster, and they finally did a steelbook of it, and they've used his version, and it, you know, for me, it's great if I can't get the poster, although eBay may eventually call me for that poster. And I will say also, if you follow, Mondo is also doing the toys now. So they have their little, they have the Iron Giant. I forget the name of the movie. Iron something or other. They have that toy.
Giant.
And Iron Giant, yeah. And then they're also doing, I think, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So that's, I mean, I think that there's some differences in the way that they were running the show before in terms of how they've expanded. And actually, they're doing sweaters, too. They're doing these holiday sweaters now. So I think they're trying a lot of different things. And then the other issue is, I think you have a lot of new other galleries also doing the same kind of thing. So not just Mondo. You have, in the U.S., you have Hero Complex Gallery, you have Bottleneck, you have Gray Matter Art, and you have, I think there's one or two others, and they're all getting the same artists, you know, the same artists, Tyler Stout, Jock, Horky, Whalen, they're all doing art for all of them, not just Mondo now. So I think they're trying to expand because of that.
How does that work? I'm confused. I'm confused about that because I've seen like a Tyler Stout. You and I, Mike, actually purchased a Tyler Stout at New York Con, but it was also sold by Mondo a bit of time earlier, a few months earlier, wasn't it?
No, Mondo did. Mondo did Avengers #1, and Mondo did Guardians of the Galaxy. But then, so I think what they do is they commission the artist. So Mondo had commissioned Stout for Guardians of the Galaxy, and they had commissioned him for Avengers, the first Avengers movie. And then I guess Hero Complex got to Stout before and had him do the Avengers Age of Ultron. But then Mondo commissioned Stout for the Goonies. So I think it's a matter of they're like, you know, not consult. The word's not coming to me. They're freelance, you know, and they get hired, and whoever does that. But
so in theory, you won't see Tyler Stout, Guardians of the Galaxy, Tyler Stout at Mondo and at one of these other places. They'll only be at one house. Yeah, I doubt you would see Tyler Stout doing the same movie or item for two different. But you could see, for example, I think it was Bottleneck had a Guardians of the Galaxy this year. Mm-hmm. So they had at New York Comic Con, which was a Whalen, and Whalen has done stuff, you know, for Mondo, and also Mondo has their own Guardians of the Galaxy. So I think anyone could do a Guardians of the Galaxy, but you're not going to find two artists to do the same. And I actually have my Avengers out, so you can kind of see. That is gorgeous. I am so glad that you helped me get that, Mike. It's the official thank you at New York Con.
The detail is just incredible in the Mondo pictures.
Yeah. Well, Stout does these very, very elaborate posters where almost all of his posters are kind of done the same way, where he has just every little, like, you could stare at it and there's a zillion different details in all of the, you know, little bits and pieces.
Yeah, by the way, if you are watching this on the Hangout, you did just watch Michael throw that on the floor.
No, it was on his bed.
Okay. I mean, Justin Ishmael is the person that we're talking about. He was I don't know if he was kind of like the creative director of the brand, but it does seem that from the moment he left, it does seem that Mondo has been very much a case of expanding in its lines. And it did feel, when I spoke to Justin last year, that he was very much fond of the idea of Mondo being quality, if not quantity. It kind of also harks back to the San Diego Comic-Con booth, and we talked about this with Alyssa the last time we talked about Mondo, because we went to the Mondo stand, and we were kind of surprised at how kind of low-tech and low-key it was. It was a case of, we're Mondo, here's our posters. I think we've got them blue-tacked on the wall. There you go. Have a look. Yeah, there you go. For this company which has such a rabid fan base, there's no branding. It's just a table cover, and there you go. There's our posters. But now I think it is more a case of, now that Justin's left, it is a case of, let's ditch the lo-fi and let's become this kind of like this large company. So it's very interesting to see what their stand is going to be like at Thought Bubble this year.
And at San Diego.
It's looking like Into the Blue, to take your job away from you, it says in the comments, Into the Blue Mister says, Mondo will be collaborating with 2000 AD to release an exclusive poster for Thought Bubble this year. So there you go.
Very
Might
nice.
be Dread then? I know they do a lot of Dread.
Excellent stuff. Well, I mean, I'm curious about that, because I don't know if you saw the news this week as well about Free Comic Book Day next year. That 2000 AD have not been invited to participate this year, which
really
mind-blowing to me.
Yes, same.
I know.
What? They've been in Free Comic Book Day for years.
I know. Apparently, it was a case of because of the British print is slightly bigger than North American comics. I know that the board behind Free Comic Book Day would asked if they could make a slightly smaller print. 2000 AD, Rebellion Publishing turned around and said we'd be happy to do that. And then it was more a case of, I can't remember the reason, but it was just some bizarre reason why 2000 AD have not been invited to actually participate this year. I think it was to do with the cost of artist to retailer ratio, that they couldn't quite match it, and the talent that they got this year was they were going, because they were fully ahead to go ahead with it, and they've been knocked back, which is just utterly bizarre to me. But there we go. Do head to an Englishman in San Diego.com, where I have put a post about that. But yeah, 2000 AD not participating in Free Comic Book Day. Okay, I think we can kind of start wrapping things up. Let's just go through to one or two of the comments on the Hangout and on the Q&A, and then I'll do the draw for the comic for the witches. Aaron Neighbours, who's a good friend of the Hangout. Hello, Aaron. Or Aaron. Aaron or Aaron? You have to tell me. Are you guys familiar with Poster Posse's tribute poster projects? That's at posterposse.com. So do check those out as well. It's always good to for new sites. I don't know if Michael and Alyssa want to have a quick look at those while I'm doing a couple of these Q&A. Let's see who else we've got on the Q&A. Jean Taylor Lecaro has also turned around and said that she's taken screen captures of all the member IDs and the registration codes for the entire family, so she's ready for pre-registration. Really have enjoyed all of this Mondo talk. I've recently bought a couple of the posters. You're going to have to let us know which ones you got, because they're all fantastic, but obviously there are a couple which really do stand out. I really would like to get hold of the Guardians of the Galaxy one, because I'm a big fan of that as well.
Oh, yeah, I have to say that I am. That I just went to the Poster Posse site, and yes, go there.
Okay, that's got the listeners' attention.
Yes, absolutely. That's gorgeous.
Excellent.
Those are gorgeous. Some gorgeous pictures there. Thank you for that link. I'll actually post it up on the Q&A.
And we were also mentioning about Nerdfu earlier. They are not watching because apparently they're recovering because they took part in the Extra Life charity event this weekend. So apparently they're kind of sleeping and recovering.
I did a little bit of that yesterday, so that's fun.
I've only heard about this today in the kind of like the aftermath. What was Extra Life?
You know, for people who do board gaming and gaming, it's kind of like you give a little bit of charity that goes to, you know, children's hospitals for sick children, and it's just like 24, 25 hours of straight up gaming for the people who, you know, do it. You know, just board gaming, not video gaming.
Excellent.
So I did a few hours yesterday. I donated a little bit, and it's just a good time and for a good charity.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Okay, well, we're going to have to, because I know that the Will Wheaton charity event has kind of moved over here to the UK. I think we're going to have to do a bit of research into that, see if we can get a bit of Extra Life activity going off here in the UK, because that sounds like a fantastic cause. Brilliant.
Speaking of video game, I have to say that both Blizzard and whomever puts on Fallout 4 were brilliant in their release date of Tuesday, right before Veterans Day, because my son has the following day off and is getting both of those games delivered on Tuesday. So expect a lot of people taking Veterans Day off. Calling in sick, I think, is the official is the word that may go around. I know that a couple of people are looking forward to that Fallout 4 game, and StarCraft, the new StarCraft. If you like the real-time RTS games.
I wish that we could have talked more about BlizzardCon, actually, because there was so much that was talked about this weekend. Mm-hmm. Very quickly, from the pair of you, this is hoping that you've seen it. We haven't discussed that we were going to talk about this, so let's see if what the instant reaction is. The Warcraft trailer. Have you seen it?
I have not.
Okay.
I have.
What's your thoughts?
I don't play Warcraft, so to me, I have no invested interest in the game. You know, game versus movie. It looks interesting. I think it's going to be like one of your. I hate to say it, like one of your typical sci-fi movies where it was. I don't know how well the story is going to hold up, you know, or what the story is behind it, you know, in terms of the overall movie. I know what the premise of the movie is, but it looks visually pleasing. That's how I'll say. I don't know how, you know, it'll be in terms of, do I want to see it for the plot?
I was just going to say that was very diplomatic of you, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. I'll personally say that I thought, like Michael, it looked amazing. The effects looked fantastic, and God knows they've spent long enough on it. So if it didn't look amazing, someone has spent 3 years doing very.
And it doesn't come out till June 2016. That's still another like 7 months away.
Marvel could have made 2 films by then. I mean, ridiculous. I mean, they've just started shooting Doctor Strange, for God's sake, and that's whatever. Anyway.
That's what I'm looking forward to. But speaking of movies that are coming out soon, Star Wars. Have you guys talked about it at all? Have we talked at all about Star Wars in Florida? The thing that they're doing with the big Disney party afterwards.
No.
Apparently, they're having all sorts of parties and the opening day of Star Wars, which looks like it's going to be massive fun down at, I'm not sure, Disney World, what it's called. I actually have never been to a Disney park, so I'm Disney mouse deprived.
You're not a mouse head?
No, I'm not a mouse head. Sorry.
Okay.
But,
for Star Wars,
oh, go on.
I did see that 2 movie theaters are actually banning people from dressing up or bringing. It was like AMC and some other company don't want you to dress up or bring your lightsabers because they think it'll be too distracting.
Lunatics.
Yeah.
Lunatics. I think quite like. I mean, there's the one cinema chain in the world that I would love to go to is Draft House.
Yes.
Because I think their attitude to films. Their attitude to the audiences are just amazing. I really want to go to a Draft House. Then I'd love to go to Alamo. Love to do all that. They did a release this week saying if you want to come dressed up, that's fine. Do what you like. Rock your world. Just make sure your phone's turned off. Just make sure you're not talking during the film. As long as you don't distract anyone, you can dress how you like. Thumbs up to them. I'm a fan. Oh, we've had a comment from Betsy Woodin. Let's see if this is. This is actually relevant for pre-reg. We haven't talked a great deal. No, we talked some, but my son turns 18 today, so I tried to change him from junior to adult at SDCC, and it was closed for maintenance last night. Ooh.
Good catch, Betsy. Good catch.
This is we need to know.
Yes. Well, I didn't check it this morning. I'm sorry. As we're now all running to check our member IDs. I think, just to go back to her question about the 18th, I think that there's a cutoff date. I don't think you need to bother changing it. I think if... I know how they've done it in the past, is that if they're not 18 by a particular date, and it's significantly before the first ticket sale, then they're not considered an adult. Regardless, buy whatever you can, and you will. They'll convert it if they need to down the road. But make sure that he's got the ticket. I don't think it's going to be an issue, though, Betsy.
Fair enough.
Back to Star Wars 1 second before we get to it.
Yeah, you're like a dog with a bone with this. I like it.
I wanted to say, well, this week, if you are a Star Wars fan, and since we talked about steelbooks, all the 6 movies are coming out in steelbook form this week. So if you are a steelbook fan, they have the original trilogy, the new trilogy, and a nice steelbooks, individual steelbook set. They're about 15-ish each. So, and they come out Tuesday. So just putting that out there.
Where are you getting yours?
Yeah, where would be the best site to go to for those?
They're actually at all places. So I think Walmart right now is the cheapest at like $12, but Best Buy and I think Target will have them also for $15. So Best Buy, Walmart, Target, Amazon. It's not an exclusive place that's releasing them, but they are supposedly limited.
You said Amazon there, so us in the UK can lay our hands on. So that's good. Okay.
I am not seeing that the member ID system is down for maintenance.
Okay.
I don't see that. But
very quick on and off thing. Who knows?
I have not gone through the entire site. I haven't done a full test.
Fair enough. The only other thing about Star Wars that I can say is that about 2 hours ago, The official TV spot came out with a couple of new shots in there. Anything new is interesting for Star Wars fans, and that's fine. But you know what? From here on in, I think I might be going silent on Star Wars. I don't want to know anymore. I've got my midnight screening tickets. I think I'm just gonna leave it alone now.
I haven't watched that new the Japanese trailer. I'm not watching the TV spot. I'm off. I'm done. I want to see. I want to sit in the theater. I want to enjoy myself. I want new images to come to me as they come to me, and that's it. That's when I want to see these images. When I'm in the theater with my friends watching it, December 17th. That's my statement on that.
So tell you what, then, here's a message to Lucasfilm, to J.J. Abrams, who I know is a regular viewer. That's it now. Just shut up. Just don't say any more. Just shush. Just no more. That's it. You're done. You don't have to sell it anymore. We're going already. We bought the tickets. Didn't you see?
We're going twice. Some people are going 3 or 4 times.
We bought the tickets already. We saw this. We saw the headlines. We've outsold something like 60% of the films this year, and it hasn't come out yet. I mean, mental. Anyway.
So here's a question I have for you guys. Since the closest theater that has it in a decent format is an hour and a half away, should I go ahead and buy back-to-back tickets, or should I buy? Since I haven't bought my tickets yet because there's no risk of it selling out. We don't do 3D, so it's I'm not going to do the whole expensive midnight screening thing. Should I buy it back-to-back, or should I put a break in there and go have supper in between?
Oh, you want to see it twice in a row? I want to see it. I'm going to see it that night, but I'll probably see it the next day. I want to let it sit a little bit, and then let me soak it in a bit, and then see it again, and then think about it. So I would actually suggest seeing it once, and then maybe going somewhere else. Is that your only theater? Is a local one? Is an hour and a half away, or you have other?
I've got a local one, but it's a small screen. It's a real small screen, and
see it on the big screen, and then see it on a smaller screen the next day.
Okay, just getting advice here.
Fair enough.
Or wait till Saturday and then just drive back to the theater, because then it's not terrible.
No, I got to go Friday. I can't go Thursday. So I'm going to be a day behind everybody. So.
Well, it's okay, because we're going to do a special hangout. I'm going to invite you on to talk about something you haven't seen yet.
Thank you.
Oh,
how
not a
nice.
problem.
Lovely.
Not a problem at all. Okay.
Yes.
Next week.
Sarcasm Society, because we need your support.
Next week is going to be our Thought Bubble special. I'm going to be doing a roving report thing. So yes, Alyssa's going to be having those slightly pulsing temples as she's trying to sort out Hangouts again. Yeah, we're going to be doing that thing again. But I'm going to be reporting. Hopefully, I'm going to try and get some people who are actually at football to join me as well to talk on the Hangout and talk about what we've seen over the course of the week. Speaking of Thought Bubble, then, let's do this. It is the giveaway of The Witches Issue 2 exclusive cover. And I've got all the names on random shuffle here. The people who have tweeted in, pledge me. And let's do the shuffle. And the winner is Sarita72. Hello, Sarita. She said, pledge me. I would want it because I've always heard about this book but never had an interest in it. It would be a great interest starter. You know what? I think that's a good excuse as any to get you into this book. It is well worth it. And yes, Michael, read it this weekend, dude.
I will get on it. I promise.
No, this is where Michael now reads it and then tweets out, "It's crap." But no, you're gonna love it. It's a great book. So
I've only heard good things. That I just have. It's time. That's the only thing stopping me is time.
Fair enough. So congratulations to Sarita72. We'll be in contact with you and we'll do what we can to get that to you as soon as we possibly can. Possibly, and I'll message you first to make sure if this is okay. I might keep hold of it another week and see if we can get Matt Hollingsworth, the colorist, to sign it as well. I'll bump up the eBay resale. Who knows? So let's have a look at the last couple of comments on the Q&A. I think this is a comment off the back of the business we were talking about with the site being down and the changing of juniors to adults. This is from Betsy Woodham, and I'm guessing this is from the Comic-Con site. We're sorry, juniors are not allowed to change their membership type. Our system will periodically change qualifying juniors to adults automatically based on your birth date on file. Your birth date on file is November 1997. So that kind of provides a little bit of background on that. And I think, with one or two exceptions, Craig Linders, watching from South Dakota. Hello, Craig. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. And who else have we got? Michael P. as well joined in on the Q&A. Hello, Michael. And also Tim Robbins as well. Mine's booked for the 18th. I'm guessing that's his Star Wars ticket. So there we go. Right. So there you go. Thought Bubble next week. Like I say, roving report. So hopefully you can join us for that. And thank you very much indeed to my guests. Alyssa?
We may also be talking about the aftermath of pre-reg, just as a reminder.
Yes.
That you may, whomever you get as a guest may have to sit through a bit of hair pulling as we scream and rant.
That's understandable. Fair enough. So, yeah, where can people find you, Alyssa?
On the forum, PM me on the forum at friendsofcc.com/forum. We've also got a really nice front page up, thanks to Joe Pare for help with getting that organized and coded and set up. He's going to be doing a little bit more work on it. If you're looking for, speaking of that, if you're looking for a link to the Hangouts, I repost them on the front page of the forum, and I'm hoping to also get some, hint, Michael, some New York Comic-Con reviews up there shortly.
Well, speaking of the forum as well, I was supposed to actually put some branding on so people could click to it, and I completely forgot. Do go to friendsofcc.com, because it is, to me, the Wikipedia of Comic-Con. It really is the best place to go. So thank you very much indeed, Alyssa. And that's also where you can find Michael. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, sir. Where can people find you online?
Well, I'm MLLNY, and I'm at Friends of CCI. I'm on Twitter. I'm on High Def Ninja. So pretty much the same forum name, but at different forums. And that's where you can find me. I will say one final thought back to something we talked about earlier with this whole Mondo craze, because I really did want to mention it. If you don't get into the craze of buying just from one company or from Mondo or trying to get it before it's sold out. Look at the piece. If you like it, then try for it. You know, you don't have to get every single poster that they have, because then it becomes a little bit of a chore. Then you know, it becomes this. If you really focus on which posters you want, you'll do better that way. So I did want to mention that, because people do start getting a little crazy and want to get everything, and it just becomes, you know, a problem.
Yeah. Makes sense. Thank you very much indeed, Mike.
And that's my final thought.
No, that's pretty much spot on. Thank you very much indeed. And from myself, you can find me, Englishman SDCC, on the Twitter, and of course, if you head to anenglishmaninsandiego.com, you can find all my social media links, including Google+, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and everywhere else. Next weekend, I am going to be posting a lot on the Instagram account, because all the bits and pieces that I'm going to be seeing at Thought Bubble 2015. That's where I'm going to be next week. Hopefully you can join us next Sunday as we do a little bit of a recap live from Leeds, as we kind of talk about what we've seen over the course of the weekend. Thank you very much indeed for watching us. Hope you've enjoyed it. Back again next week with another Talking Comic-Con, a cup of tea with an Englishman in San Diego. Take care. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.